Celebrate Recovery is a Christ-centered recovery program. A place for hope.
A place for change.
A place where people understand me.
A place to find freedom.
A place to be loved.
A confidential community.
A place for healing. A place where I can take off my mask.
A place to become strong again.
A place for support.
A safe place to share.
A place where I feel accepted.
A place to grow.
A place to find courage.
Celebrate Recovery is a place for me.
Is a place for me.
Is a place for me.
Celebrate Recovery is a place for me.
My story of recovery goes back to childhood, and that's really where things began. I saw a lot of stuff growing up as a kid that I just didn't understand. As a consequence, I developed hurts, and I just learned to deal with them and cope with them however I could. In time, though, as time went on, I just became more bitter and more angry and confused. I also became very rebellious. As a young teenager, I started abusing drugs, and then I dove into a life of crime, not just using but selling drugs, fighting, vandalizing, stealing, whatever. And on one hand, I didn't care, but on the other hand, I was crying out for somebody to notice. But one day I'll never forget is the day I found myself on my knees crying out to God. And I was 18, almost 18, and I had no clue what I was doing. And I said something like, God, if you're there, save me. I was tired. I'm tired of myself. I'm tired of life. I'm tired of fighting it. And I just didn't care anymore. And from that point on, God really began moving in my life. He was very faithful, despite the fact that I didn't really know much about him. It took time. It took almost 2 years before God could bring me to a place where I could stay sober. And I didn't have Celebrate Recovery or a 12-step program back then, so that road was very long and very lonely for me. I've been sober ever since, but somehow over those years, I managed to not give every area of my life over to God. And I knew it. And I began to ask God to help me to release some of those hurts from the past and the things I hadn't dealt with and given over to Him. And through a turn of events, God led me to Celebrate Recovery and a position in leadership at our CR here at Grace. I worked the 12 steps with a sponsor, and now God's been using me to help others through my experience and through my love for Him. At the end of the day, I believe Celebrate Recovery is more than just a way to stay sober or to fit into society. I think it's ultimately a discipleship program. I know for me personally, Celebrate Recovery has really helped teach me what it means to truly take up my cross and follow Christ. It's taught me lifelong principles that I can live that overcoming life in Christ that I so desire. I also feel like it's really given me a freedom and prepared me in a new and exciting way to really serve God without boundaries. And I believe that God can use Celebrate Recovery in anybody's life. And if you're struggling with hurts, habits, or hang-ups, they can be anything. Remember, God's power to heal is not limited. Then I just want to encourage you that there is hope. And Celebrate Recovery might be a place for you.